I think we are online now. Yes, okay. I think we are on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yes, hello everyone. Welcome to the Worldscope Spatial Asia version for the Aries Ingress. Yeah, so today with us is let's welcome Kenan Yasin and Grace from Germany, and we also have our regular Benson going to join us. So, well, today I mean because last Friday we had a our Worldscope, and then Grace was there. But we are focused. We are focused on Europe, France, and a tiny bit Latin America. As people from Asia, like myself, I was just thinking, you know what? We should not ignore another part of the world. So I was very quickly ask anyone who was interested to join us. And eventually, I think Leanne was in the beginning. Leanne said she wanted to join us, but she felt a little bit under the weather. So I wish Leanne will getting better soon. But today we have it's so interesting because we have a different view and different prospect. So today I want to invite Kenan to start his presentation. He's give a little bit of talk about the Aries Ingress, and then something quite interesting about the Neptune going to, So let's start with Kenan. Hi, Kenan, how are you?
Hello everyone. I heard about the event late because I just want to say that because I'm not very familiar with Asian countries. And I
Yeah.
heard about the broadcast late. For this reason, I could not work fully this time. I
Oh,
want to share my previous work with you because
definitely.
I'm very happy to be here, and thanks to you, I will learn a lot of valuable information from to you. I know, and
You are too humble. You always give us a lot of important information. So don't be shy. Bring it
okay,
out.
okay, okay. Let me share my screen now. Maybe
Yes.
I can share my Aries Ingress. Uh, this one. Um, can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. And I'm very happy to be here with you, but I'm not familiar with Asian countries, but I'm familiar with Aries Ingress charts, and I studied them before. I would just like to examine the specific details together.
Yeah,
And
sure.
I don't know much about Asian countries, but I live in Turkey, so a country where two different continents come together because we are connected to Asia on one side and Europe on the other side. Therefore, maybe I can mention Turkey as a subject in this event.
Yeah,
And
please.
now, as you know, the sun's entry into Aries marks the beginning of a new year. But our this year's main topic, we are studying the sky configurations for this year's main topic. We especially follow the planets to make angular connections with the generation planets because this generation planets placements and signs of this generation planets describe a scenario that has been in existence for a long time, and other planets, Mars, Venus, and any others, contact with this scenario give us important information about how this year will go. So maybe let's examine the Neptune, because Neptune has been in Pisces for a long time, but this time it has moved to at 27 degree, the exact degree of exaltation of Pisces. And I mentioned the Firmicus, pardon, Firmicus Maternus. As you know, he separates the exalted rulers from the domicile rulers. And maybe you can know that you know that by the end of the 16th century, with William Lilly, of course, we are using score tables and we give certain points to the planets according to their placement. These tables show an illusion, I think, because they give the impression that the rulership settlements are more important than exaltations. But when we look at the Maternus or any other traditional astrologers of that period, we observe that they favored the exalted rulers more. So now about the planet Neptune. Of course, the planet Neptune was not used at that time, but with modern theory, we can make interpretations. In mundane astrology, Neptune indicates uncertainties, speculations, pandemics, epidemics, seas, frauds, especially chemicals. And let's look at the chart. When Neptune first entered 0 degrees Pisces on April 4th, 2011, Neptune's Pisces ingress charts took place. And then Neptune went, retrograde and came back to the Pisces again. And it may be necessary to use both charts here because we can use one ingress and one final ingress chart. But in this chart, we see a stellium in Aries, and the sun and the moon midpoint is also at 19-degree Aries, where the sun is exactly exalted. And this is important for us because our solar eclipse this year will also take place at exactly 19 degrees Aries. And opposite this Aries stellium is a planet Saturn. And in classical astrology, Saturn signifies oil, mining, underground resources. And in modern interpretation, Neptune, together with Pluto, maybe signifies oil, underground gases, and liquids. And this chart tells us that countries will be a struggle to manage their own resources on their own, I think. And with the Aries stellium, it tells us that the leaders will follow a more stubborn, I think, more assertive policy, I think. And secondly, let's look at the chart of the moment when Neptune re-entered Pisces after retrograde. It happened. I'm so sorry. It's a Pisces ingress of Neptune, the first Pisces ingress. And let's look at the Neptune as pandemics Wuhan in cartography. At that moment of Neptune's first entry into Pisces, the Neptune IC line passes right through Wuhan, and this makes us think, I think. And secondly, let's look at the chart of the moment when Neptune re-entered Pisces after retrograde. It happened on February 3rd, 2012. And this chart, the sun and moon midpoint is at 19 degrees Aries again. This is incredible. And Mars, the midpoint ruler, is in Virgo. And Virgo can tell about diseases, and Mars is also in retrograde. And when we look at the cartographic chart of Mars, we observe that the MC line passes through Wuhan again. And Mars describes the risks of contagion or contamination in classical astrology. These charts work really amazingly, I think. And now, then we go back to the Aries ingress chart. This time we see the exact degree of Neptune's exaltation. Exaltations give, I think, exaggeration. They can make the situation more blurry. And even if we don't talk directly about epidemics, of course, this time, but we can see that the country's leaders may exhibit speculative behavior in economic matters, I think, as if there are no economic difficulties, as if there are no difficulties about them. They may behave as if everyone is happy, maybe. And we can also say the same about the Pisces stellium in our Aries ingress charts. And we need to add the seas, the climate crisis, I think. And Venus and Saturn are also in the same sign. And Venus signifies strategy and Saturn coldness. And Venus and Saturn in Pisces can signify a cold war, a battle of strategy. Pisces expresses universality, and maybe here we need to talk about global economy, because country leaders may need to organize their economic exchanges with other country leaders. Maybe in particular, they may have conversations on the price and value of non-existent materials, because we mentioned about the Pisces nature. Non-existent materials is equals to the existent materials. Perhaps there may be important changes in situations related to Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies. And you know, Aries Ingress planetary configurations are also important for us. We are facing a chart full of Pisces and Aries stelliums. And Pisces signifies ending, completions, and finalities, of course. But while Aries signifies beginnings and innovations, here we will carry an energy stuck between endings and new beginnings. And also, Rod, you know that especially these two signs are contra-antitia signs of each other.
Mm-hmm.
So, therefore, we do not understand, they do not understand each other. We can say that they tend to run away from each other. And I think this pressure will, of course, be felt all over the world. And especially this year, is a full of elections, of course, you know. For example, elections have just taken place in Russia, and Putin was re-elected as a president. And we will also be local elections in Turkey at the end of this month. Towards the end of the year in November, America will elect its president.
Yeah.
And I just curious about this question. What do you think about the same candidates again? The same name, the same leaders always come to the fore. And isn't it actually about being stuck between the end and the new beginning, Aries or Pisces? Would you like to say something about this, dear Rod?
I agree with you. I agree with you. When you mentioned about we are stuck in between the future and the past, and we want to change, but there's something holding us back, and the past is we are expecting past going to have something to change, but it's not going to happen. So, like you say, the election in the United States in the November so far, as we know, going to be there's two old men going to run in the show. And I have nothing against the old people, but it's just like, for God's sake, could have something else.
Repeating what happened
Yeah,
4 years ago.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and we will have local elections in Turkey at the end of this month. Everyone is curious about this issue, but the same reason being in there, we have also same leaders, same names in here. But I'm gonna skip this section for now. But coming back to the Aries Ingress chart, and I can talk about my own country. For example, in the cartography chart, you can see Mars ascendant line passes between the Greece and Turkey.
Mm-hmm.
A Mars line passing right through the Aegean Sea describes the movement between the two countries for a year. And this year, Greece has granted Turkish citizens the right to enter its islands with a gate visa. And when they granted this right, it was at the end of the summer season. But now, with the new year, the Aries Ingress charts, and the new summer season, this region will gain more activity. And therefore, both countries will take security measures. Also, we can also say that hot sales and movement activities will increase in this region as Mars describes spendings and also activities. And Venus and Saturn ascendant lines pass through Ukraine, Ankara, the capital of Turkey, of course, down to Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, and from there to Egypt and African countries and the Cape Verde. You know, there are hot wars here. I think these indicators will have an impact on wars and also nuclear waste and environmental sensitivity. For example, the Ukraine-Russia war, which is taking place just north of Turkey, and has always been discussed in terms of its economic dimension. But no one talked about the catastrophic impact on the Black Sea, of course. We are talking about a sea that was already polluted by the Chernobyl disaster before. Now, due to nuclear waste and the destruction caused by rockets, missiles, seafaring is almost over this region. And we will see the effects of this situation more on February 2026, because when Saturn and Neptune will conjoin at 0 degrees Aries in 2026. However, it may be necessary to evaluate the Aries Ingress chart together with the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction chart that will take place in the coming days, you know. And you can see this Uranus and Jupiter conjunction chart and the Aries Ingress chart. And I think these indicators will trigger the Middle East. As you can see in the conjunction chart, the regions were Pluto MC line, and conjunction lines intersect are Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, and Iran. Unfortunately, these regions are full of spices, full of agent, and we can see an increase in terrorist incidents that may spread with the entry and exit of immigrants from this country, which we will call the hotbed of spices and terrorism and from European countries, I think. But below, the Arab countries also come to the fore, I think, this year, because the sun line passes the sun line passes through the Arabian Peninsula. And in the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction before, just examining this Jupiter-Saturn conjunction chart, the sun is at 1 degree Taurus and makes a square aspect with Pluto. And these indicators can trigger both the Middle East and the Arabs to get involved in wars. And also the main issues that the country's authorities will approach with sensitivity maybe are as follows. They will focus on regulating the wrong refugee policies, and maybe the issue of lack of controls will be brought to the fore again. And visa procedures, maybe customs inspections may be increased, and border operations, border operations may be on the agenda this year. And that is all my interpretations, my delineations. And thank you so much for thank you for everything, and thank you for listening and for your patience. I'm just saying that I'm not very familiar with Asian countries, but I heard and you know I heard about the broadcast late. But I'm happy to share my previous work with you, and thank you for listening. And just maybe a little reminder for our forecasting techniques. If you have a little time in here, dear Rod. If you have any time.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, please.
little time. After 2 days, we will examine the Aries Ingress chart on the CIA platform also.
Yeah.
We will be together with valuable astrologers. CIA is an amazing organization, and there is a great flow and of information. And I sincerely want everyone to join this organization. Also, we are going to organize a big event in our country in Istanbul on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd with the wonderful astrologers you see here. Rod is an amazing astrologer. His knowledge in mundane astrology is incredible. And he renews himself in this field every day. Just imagine that he has weekly conversation with other astrologers from all over the world. Just imagine the wealth of knowledge. I'm very happy to know an astrologer who is really in love with his work. And would you like to tell us something about your subject, dear Rod?
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Kenan. I mean, thank you. I will say something else. Yes, for the 1st to the 3rd of the June, we will be meet each other in Istanbul, and then the first Istanbul Astrology Conference. And I'm going to focus on the two subjects. One is about outer planet relation of the global economic. I know I speak this subject in front of Olga Morales. That is like kind of a I should be more careful, but she is my teacher when she teaches me financial astrology. So I really want to share my view of the outer planet from not only financial astrology but also global economy and mundane astrology view. And then the next topic would be the company chart and the so-called first trade chart. These two charts is working extensively in the financial astrology. So I would like to share my observation. But you know what? I have to say thank you to Kenan. I think our friends here, Grace and Benson, must feel the same, overwhelmed by the knowledge you share with us. You are a fantastic astrologer, and then the knowledge you share, and also you really focus on whole region. Thank you so much.
Thank you again, and you can visit our website and contact me for information and details. And thank you so much for everyone. And I'm gonna listen to your interpretations. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Kenan. It's our pleasure to have you. Really, you really bring the very, very different perspective. Now we're going to move from the Eurasia, Central Asia. Now we move to the East Asia. The first, here we are not going to ignore is the China, a main key player in the East Asia country and also in the world. So I will share the Aries Ingress chart from Beijing. And then I think I will invite Grace to make a few comments, and then Benson join us, all right? And also Kenan, feel free to make some comment. So now here we are. I'm going to share my, where is my chart? Here we are. Wait a minute. I couldn't share it. I don't know why. Here we are. So here what I'm showing you is just a Aries Ingress chart from the Beijing. It would be on the 20th of March, this Wednesday, on the 11 a.m. So very interesting. For all the area, because I did a little bit like Kenan look whole region in the Central Asia and East Asia. I look in the East Asia, and nearly all the country have either Gemini rising or Cancer rising, and then nearly all the country apart from Japan has Pisces ascendant, Pisces MC, and that is so interesting because I remember what Kenan say about the Sun conjunct Neptune, make Neptune a key for recent Aries Ingress chart. And what I feel like, are we going to trust all these leader when Sun conjunct Pisces because they are kind of I'm not going to tell you what I want to do. I bring you a beautiful dream and beautiful future, but I'm not sure am I going to achieve it or not. Well, I'll first invite Grace. Grace, be careful. Be careful. I know you have some concern, but just say what you can say. The other, you hand it to me and Benson and Kenan.
Okay, yes, when I say Uranus with Saturn, I know what I can say or what I cannot say. So I have to be careful.
Yes, we
Yes,
trust
I
you.
have to be careful. And we can see almost all the planets in 10th house and the 11th house. So look like they're showing the world, try to lead up something and try to make some friends.
Mhm.
Yeah, in certain area, I mean. In certain area.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure Mr. Xi going to make a friend with Trump?
Maybe China try to build up some area team group and try to lead up the world. Okay, and the sun in 10th house and connect with the moon and Pluto. We can say moon in the 2nd house, Pluto in 8th house. It's something like about China maybe will, it look like economy will get better, or maybe there's some they will do something and try to make economy getting better. But in the other hand, we can see Pluto in 8th house, so maybe something about date.
The depth, yes.
Yeah, we all know China give a lot of money to the other country, but maybe it's very difficult to get back. And yes, so and but the sun also rule the 3rd house. The 3rd house is something about the media, and newspaper, TV news. It look like maybe from TV news or newspaper to show the world the economy is really get better. It's not allowed to see some bad news about the economy, I mean.
Yeah.
Yes, and also the moon is about the people, the people's life. The people want to eat, want to wear clothes. I mean the normally life. So how to say it? So it's and the conductor like oh no.
Sorry.
I mean the moon object with Pluto, so it's not it. I mean the people maybe it's suffering. It's suffering, but in the other hand, maybe it's not allowed to speak out, not allowed to show to the world.
Okay.
So you understand? And normally when the Pluto in 8th house is something like the leader try to build up, let me think about how to see it. Pluto in 8th house, I mean, something like a personality could stand with Pluto in 8th house.
Yeah, it could be a kind of I mean, because 8th house could be also a kind of the problem, the financial problem or resource brought in from the other country. So it would be like the kind of exchange rate, or maybe the resource share between China and the nearby country. and or maybe just simply the crisis and death rate. I hope it's not going to that way, because this is going to show in the older part of East Asia country that Pluto in 8th house. So I don't know what it is, but yeah, go on, Grace.
Yes, we don't know, but we are talking about from the chart. Okay, and Saturn conjunct with Venus, and I think something about the entertainment, or the women's right, children's right, or children's medical policy. Venus is the ruler of the 5th house, something about the entertainment, or entertainment, yes, and the children, something about children.
So I think with this Venus, because it's quite interesting chart. For example, when we see a angular Venus, usually we think, oh my God, it's a great chart. There's nothing to worry about it. I don't know what Kenan think about when you see a Venus right on the MC. You should think, oh my God, everybody should be relaxed now.
Of course, it's not, because in traditional astrology we use the temperatures and humor.
Yeah.
Yes. But there is a Saturn, but there's Saturn with Venus.
Yeah.
Saturn normally is build up something okay, sorry.
I'm so sorry to interrupt that, but no, just adding any comment for this
yes,
one.
Please.
Because Saturn is exalted with the Libra sign, and Libra, the 5th house cusps is in Libra, and we know that Venus is the rulership and the Saturn is in the exaltation ruler, and each of them between to impress or influenced us.
Thank you, Kenan. So I think it sounds like the entertainment or the child policy would be a highlight of the year in Beijing. In Beijing, I think, it would be pretty interesting to keep an eye on it. What they are going to do, because for the last couple of years, there is always a policy about the government have a heavy-handed into all the movie and the program you're going to watch, and you should do this, you shouldn't do this, you should say that, you shouldn't say that. So I think this year would be even more, because the exaltation would be even more intense, I think.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Grace, do you want to add anything in before we give a microphone to Benson?
Okay, I have the other point. So Mercury conjunct Chiron in 11th house, and the Mercury rules the 4th house. So I think something about will get maybe will get fixed. For example, in property.
Yeah.
Yes, property.
Property price, because I think it was a huge concern, a huge challenge. I think it doesn't matter in China, or also I think in Hong Kong. It is similar. The property price and the things it was falling for a while, and then people are still, and we know for China, this is the engine, the engine of the economy for last 10, 15 years. The property market was the main power for the economy in China. Now it was cooling down a bit. Now I'm not sure, because it's conjunct with Chiron. Could be a correction. I don't know. What do you think, Grace? What do you think it would be push up, or you think a correction on the way?
I think maybe the government will doing something, and because of Mercury in because of Mercury in Aries, so I think they will doing something, and
sure,
a little bit activity.
Yeah, sure. So for this same question, I will hand it to Benson because Benson have a really, really close observation between China and Hong Kong. So I will not stop sharing and then hand it to Benson because I'm really looking for what Benson is going to say.
Okay, sure. So maybe I share my PowerPoint first.
Yes, please.
Before launching my presentation. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. So, a little bit complicated.
Benson make his own sound effect.
Okay. Just a moment. I find all things complicated. It doesn't matter. I can manage, I guess. No. Okay. Okay, you can see the PowerPoint, right?
Not yet. In 1 second. I think now we can see it.
Yes, we can see it.
We can see. Okay, great.
Yes.
Thank you, Grace. Maybe I provide you some background information, especially for those who don't know actually what's happening in Hong Kong and China. Basically, I just only sum up in 4 points: political control, economic downturn, social disintegration, and natural disaster and accidents. But the major key is actually doing these 4 kinds of aspects. I will see Pluto, Uranus, Mars, actually Neptune are in impact during the process. Why do I make this claim? Because we talk about, especially for this Aries Ingress chart, if we still remember this month, in March, there is a kind of square between the Mars and Uranus. In other words, we do understand that kinds of very radical ways of thinking, radical ways of doing things, actually are being stimulated further. And also, the government or the regime may doing something in the really extreme manner. So if they follow this kind of energy style to work things, this is not surprising to see what's going on in China and Hong Kong, because I can show you that actually compared with both charts, this is a Hong Kong chart, this is a China chart, there's no big difference in terms of aspects. And also the major planets in the major houses, like you can see both places, their sun is in house 10. Also, this is China. The second aspect they share the similarity is that in house 11, if we regard how 11 means parliament, council, like in Hong Kong, we do have legislative council, lawmaking body. In China, we do have a National People Congress. Actually, they actually do, or even because the parliament in Hong Kong and China, there is no meaning for ordinary people because they have no power to check the government. So I will regard House 11 is a part of government, like government department, government bodies. So they're actually doing something to hurt, to undermine the interest of the entire country or even the people. So that's the reason why that carry on over the House 11 means actually you can see the conjunct with the Mercury. For example, they can deliver the message that actually try to hurt the people in the names of national security, in the names of patriotism, loving the country, blah, blah, blah. The first aspect is for both charts, House 2 and 8 that relate to economy. We talk about the general aspect of economy, house number 2, or even underground economy number 8, or even number 8 house. We can also think about the within the government, within the state, this kind of power struggle or even the power contestation among different parts of the people within the power holder games. So we take a economic definition or political definition of house number 8, but we do believe that actually that instability or unstable situation of both government actually undermine the economy. This people would not question this observation, especially just ask me 4 or 5 years ago. People just only think about earn the money, accumulate the profit, earning the money. But 5 years later, maybe after in 2024 or even this year or afterward, they think about, oh, why China, Hong Kong is not the same in the past? There are two places that we earn money. Frankly speaking, people would say instead of working in the UK, I would like to work in Hong Kong because working in Hong Kong, I can earn maybe 4 times, 5 times of the ordinary salary in the UK, frankly speaking. But right now, the situation you can see is totally different. That Hong Kong and China is no longer a place that let people earn a huge profit or have a really high salary right now. So that's the reason why I will regard that opposition between house to house egg, the moon and also the Pluto. Actually, we can see this year the impact brought by the government focusing on the power struggle, focusing on centering more power over the regime, actually will undermine the peoples, undermine the economy, and more foreign investment will quit with the decoupling, the linking in China as well in Hong Kong, especially right now Hong Kong, there is a basically Article 23 legislation that uses national security to check people further. So I believe for both charts, they share share the similar feature. That kind of trend will further. I just only focus on 3 aspects. But of course you can see the AC in China. AC in this chart, like Hong Kong, the AC is a Gemini. So I'm focusing more on the Mercury's. You can see this opposite with the South Node, for house number 5, we refer to entertainment, young people, even the maybe the creation that under the political control atmosphere. Of course, that kinds of creativity, that kinds of innovation will be suppressed in the aspect, because if you create too much, you may get hurt in this regard. Also, it is similar in the chart as well. And lastly, I just only focus on another aspect is about the in chart. I can see this is actually Cancer rising. So I also can see there's the house 1 Cancer, house 2 Cancer, and you can see the moon Cancer. So people, economy facing a very big, not only pressure is really minimal wording, I would say, facing a really, really traumatized, perhaps a kind of really terrible situation. And if you believe the current situation is worse, and the situation will get worse and worse, and it is not really quite difficult for me to predict what's going on. But actually, I should also have a cross-reference of some important thing, because we have another observation that is well to share. Dun, 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 dun. I need to share something. Where are you? Usually for myself, I find myself very difficult.
No, we can't see. We can't see anything yet.
Sorry. Oh, I
Don't worry. Take your time. We just like your sound effect. Your dun 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 dun.
Any questions right now? Given that moment, this Q&A will be very shocking. I can find it. Okay. This one, I can find it. No worry. Okay. No. This one. You can see. There's a chart.
Yes.
Say, this is a Pluto. This is a original moon in the PLC chart. You know what happens.
Oh, the moon! Look at that moon! Look at that Aries Ingress moon too. Look at Aries.
This is a conjunction of the chart of PLC and the transit chart of Pluto.
Yes.
answer. And remember, Pluto will rub that moon at least 2 or 3 years. Rub. So for actually, this is a very long and very painful process.
Agree.
That's all for me. Okay, I'm speak too much.
Thank you, Benson. No, thank you, all of you. Thank you, Grace. Thank you, Benson. Thank you, Kenan. I think everyone know China's chart would never forget that moon and the ascendant on the Aquarius going to be triggered by Pluto, and we are just entering. We are just a plug. So we are just started to see these for the dinner course. This is just entree. We are not the main course haven't been served yet. And I'm not going to say freak out, because I mean there is many country has experienced. For example, in 2008, Iceland is the country where face the Pluto cross the ascendant. Well, it's true. I think they have smart way to play with it. What does that mean? You either make your people suffering, or you make other people suffering. You either play Pluto, or you let other people play Pluto. So what Iceland government did, they say, the banker, you make us lose money, so we are put you in the prison. And then the foreign investor, you lost money in Iceland. We are really sorry, but we are not going to give you money back. With this strategy, they recover their economic very quickly. In maybe 5 years' time, they are kind of build up again. I don't know what China is going to do, because there are so many investors. All the world used to put a lot of money in China. And when I know astrology the world event and astrology doesn't repeat itself. When Pluto crosses the ascendant of China, doesn't mean it will happen like what happened in Iceland, 12 years ago. Not 12, more than 12 years ago. So what I just say is we should be keep an eye on it, because it could be a huge black hole, but we don't know in what area. Economy is more likely, to be honest. Economy is more likely. What do you think, Kenan?
But the economy actually will bring political implications,
Yeah,
because,
I agree.
Yes.
in the past, people would believe reforms and opening up is actually the only reason why the people support the regime. But right now, the regime cannot safeguard their own very basic needs, or even the government right now innovate a number of very interesting ways to extract the people, their poverties. It is not a secret to say that even though you are paid in digital money, in other words, that money is not your money, this is government money.
So that means all ours is their money too. Okay. Well, I mean, it's quite late for Kenan. I can see, but I know Kenan is.
Ask something.
Yeah, please.
Want to add and ask something, because in fact, the most planets in the first chart are gathered in the fourth quadrant. It most describes the collaboration with others, but it also shows secret affairs.
Yes,
politics will be important. But I know in fact that the Jupiter-Uranus MC line, when we examine the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction, this MC line passes through China, suggests that there may be shocking changes in Hong Kong, Taiwan, Korea, and financial markets and the crypto market. And we know there are a lot of news about the collapse of the Chinese stock market. We also observe, that Hong Kong has partnered with Microsoft on the digital currency. Am I right? I don't know.
They try very hard. Yes.
Yeah, Hong Kong has partnered with Microsoft on the digital currency. And we know that Microsoft is, after all, a technology and innovation leader, or has deep expertise in this field. And we know Jupiter and Uranus MC lines describes this innovation and leadership. And this MC line passed through Hong Kong. It also tells us that we will encounter procedures regarding this merger, because another part, China and North Korea declared 2024 as the
Yeah.
year of friendship. But these lines seems the stress this environment, because the effects of Jupiter and Uranus need to be detailed. In particular, spy satellites launches and cyber attacks, maybe nuclear programs and missiles or rockets tests may increase of this region. And this situation may make that region more uneasy, I think. I don't know.
I agree with you. I agree with you, because with the technology, the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction could be mean a huge leap. A huge leap doesn't matter in the kind of a digital, or because they are conjunct in Taurus, so digital currency, and then also include the cryptocurrency, and also I think things fly in the sky. I think when these two planets are going to approach each other, we know the news says Elon Musk's company is helping the American Defense Department build up a very powerful satellite spy network. But I will say, if even China doesn't have support from Elon Musk, but we have balloon. Do you know we have a balloon fly in the sky without detect by any government until you see it. Hey, there's a strange, weird balloon. Where it's from? Hey, from China. When we have no technique, we have the tradition. Okay. So what I mean is, because you mentioned about the Jupiter Uranus that fly in the sky, and that is a very, very interesting topic. And I think, yes, this is what we should be put a little bit more careful. And quite interestingly, we haven't mentioned, yes, thank you for mentioning about the North Korea is team up with China and then Russia. So that is a huge concern in the East Asia area, especially for South Korea and for South Korea and Japan, because they used to see North Korea and South Korea used to see each other as a brother or just a family split in two, and their aim was to unite together. Now, the Kim Jong-un say no way. He see them as enemy now. So he say we are not going to negotiate, and they are enemy country rather than a country we should be united. So yes, indeed, that is a huge thing. And with this Sun Neptune, and it totally describe Kim Jong-un. We never know what he think. It will be so confused, and then. So I think it is a huge concern in East Asia. But the truth is, I will address a little bit more about this on the 31st of March, when I attend the WadeCave host the World Astrology Summit from the 30th and the 31st of March. Benson will also be part of it. Benson will give a talk. Benson, what's your topic?
My topic will focusing on Chinese zodiac signs, but actually this is we use the 5 elements to predict what's going on in the next 3 years. Especially, we talk about year 2005, year 2006 or 7 is a kind of very critical years. I focus on China, that we describe kind of this is a disaster in relation to fire. Fire means war or even conflict. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's how the Chinese observation can be related to, can be matched with the Monday astrology.
Oh, cool. So basically, you are going to, part of your talk would be involved with traditional Chinese view of the divination. That's fantastic. That would be so cool. That would be really cool. I'm really looking forward to hear that. But thank you, everyone. Thanks, Benson. Thank you, Grace. And thank Kenan join us and bring us, you blow my mind off. You are a fantastic astrologer. I think we really, really appreciate your input, and that really makes us so different. Okay, thank you, Kenan, and thank you. I know it's quite late for you, so I should let you go to have a rest. But also thanks, Grace and Benson. You guys are fantastic. I'm so proud to have you to join me today, and you make this program really, really special. And thanks everyone for joining us too. And I'm really looking forward to see you next week. This Friday. This Friday. Yes, I'm already lost my time. So this Friday, in the morning, Christeen Skinner will join me. Have our early lunar reason, because we know next week is a lunar eclipse. Oh, by the way, do you know that lunar eclipse in China and the solar eclipse in China both have Uranus on MC and IC?
Wow.
Amazing.
Keep an eye.
I will talk about that on the 31st of March in the World Astrology Summit. That's it. It's not commercial, but it's just fun. Okay, see you guys. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye.